Like when I did
Boy.
basketball conditioning in high school, that was me. I was just
Man, I want you to know he was like one of the fastest kids in our class back in the day.
yeah, in the eighth
Forrest
grade.
Gump.
That's
He was my running partner in gym. We had to like run laps around the place.
Shit.
all right.
Just like he was just like,
Yes, yeah, I was like that. Never was good at running
I played basketball for a couple of years.
I did it as a kid.
I was one of the two white guys on the team.
because you had all the right moves.
Yeah, our team, we weren't very good.
Yeah. So, time for the next segment. How do you guys feel about EA?
Ooh, I am interested to hear about this.
Actually, hold
I got
on.
a feeling.
How much battery do you have left?
I have it plugged in and I have it sitting just perfect where I can talk to you guys and have it charging.
All right. Okay, then we can
All
move to
right.
other topic later. Let's talk about EA, guys. You ready for this?
Yeah.
You ready to jam? Oh
Dun
yeah.
dun 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 dun
Dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun.
dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
All right. So there is multiple videos, which since you weren't in, James, you didn't see. There is multiple videos. Essentially, what I call let's try to make ourselves look as good as possible by EA.
Sponsored by EA.
Sponsored by EA. So first, starting with last week, since we weren't here, there was a report. EA is hiring for their new open world Star Wars game after what is their
Uh,
name?
I
What's
have
that
I have a
company's name?
question. I have a question.
Yep.
Do I have to get loot boxes to unlock my character or anything like that, or like?
Let's talk about that first. So Ethan, our
I'm sorry, Ethan.
our
I'm
Star
sorry.
Wars Battlefront expert over here. Since you still play Star Wars Battlefront, how's it looking?
It's actually getting better. But it's too little too late, quite honestly. I think there's apparently a new update. I don't remember if it came out yet. I haven't played in like a couple days. That's gonna like start releasing new content and like skins and like character customization that you'll unlock. So like it'll be like loot boxes, I think, will return in the sense of cosmetics. But you get loot boxes way more often. And all of like the cards in the card system you used to have is now a progression system. So you unlock new cards with each level you get. So it was this weird thing before, like I'm sure you remember this, Phoenix, when you would get cards, each card would have a rank on it.
Right.
Like it was 1 through 4. And all the cards you had would add up to your total level in that character, which was dumb.
Yeah, it was really
Now
stupid.
you have a progression system per character class. And in that class you level up and you get cards that way.
Yeah, but I thought adding cosmetics would break the lore of Star Wars.
Apparently EA was like, this game sucks. We have to make something that's going to try and like bring this back. What do we
Okay,
do?
you just got me tilted a bit because James, you haven't seen this, and Ethan, I'm pretty sure you haven't seen it either. Star Wars Battlefront didn't meet its expected sales, which were like it made like 1 million less than it was supposed to, but it was already like 6 or 7 million units sold.
Well, that's not. I mean, being like under is kind of bad in any like sales, but just like as much as they made, it's not terrible.
I want to point that out again. It's like already over half 10 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were upset. They were 1 million off. Do you know how wild that is? That they think they're gonna sell that. I always think that's weird. A company thinks like we're gonna sell millions of these units. Sorry, that blows my mind.
I don't know. The game's not good enough to think. I think sell more than 1 million. 1 million.
You right. You right.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, man. That Star Wars Battlefront game was painful to play.
Yeah, I still got it. I'll still pull it out, but at this point, I've got other games to play.
Like Prey.
Like Prey, actually. Yeah, I haven't played that in like a week though. I need to pick that up. Oh, I just don't have time tomorrow. I'll play it on my birthday. That's all I'll do. I'll play Prey on my birthday.
Right. So let
I
me get
like.
back to the article.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
EA is hiring for open world Star Wars game with online features after Visceral collapse.
What about SWTOR?
Sort of?
Fight me.
Oh
That's an
yeah.
EA owns MMO.
Yes.
Fight me.
Fight you about what?
It's open world. Why are they making a new one?
Because they want a new
Why
game.
not make the game
No,
that's already
so
out better?
Ethan, there's a distinction. First, because no one plays Star Wars: The Old Republic. Facts. Second,
I know.
it's a different kind of game. They're going for like when they say open world, they mean something like The Witcher.
All right. Skyrim.
Yes,
Skyrim with lightsabers.
one of those kind of games.
So just Skyrim.
No, we don't know what. I'm saying those games to distinguish it from an MMO. Because James, you know
Right.
what an MMO is. You know how they
Of course.
function.
Of course, I've sacrificed too much of my life to not know.
But even comparing it to Star Wars: The Old Republic, that's a weird thing to try and pronounce. Sword.
I'm, I'm not trying to compare them as much as I'm trying to say EA has a property that's out that is making them a lot of money. It's still people don't play the game, but they're still making a lot of money from it. People are playing that game enough that they're making lots of money from it. They could invest their time and resources on a game that's already out and making them money than on a new game when people are already upset at them for
Or-
making new games. That
Yeah,
suck.
that's actually a good point. Like, instead of just like trying to put out a new game to win people over, why don't you backpedal onto an old game, fix it up, and win people back to that? Like, because everyone falls for nostalgia to a degree, you know.
Absolutely.
So you build this game up, you make it look nice, you fix some things, and that like people will warm up to it and come back to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then let me switch the question then. What would you think we need to do to fix Star Wars: The Old Republic?
Make it an actual MMO.
I mean, it is an actual MMO. What do you?
It's an RPG. So the way I've heard a lot of people describe it, and I agree with this. So the acronym is MMORPG.
Yes.
Right now, Star Wars: The Old Republic is lowercase MMO, uppercase RPG.
Right.
That is because they know that BioWare knows their strengths in that they make really good RPG games. That they've made KOTOR, they've made a ton of other ones that are pretty good.
Yeah.
If you're good at making RPG games, you stick to your strengths. But the problem is they pitch the entire game as being an MMO, and the MMO elements, a lot of the community are very upset about. But the RPG elements, they love. So if they really wanted to fix up, say, Star Wars: The Old Republic, what they would do is they would rebuild it, not necessarily from the ground up, but in a way that would satisfy both camps of people equally. Or
Yeah.
at least try and play or continue to play their strengths. Which
See, I think that's kind of difficult to pull off. I mean, there's multiple reasons for that. Which that's going to lead into the next one. I'll talk about later. BioWare is not a good company, at least anymore.
right.
So they're not
Have
really
my
good at
phone.
story. B, at least in my head, MMOs and story-driven games are antithetical. Or they're mutually exclusive, rather. It's really hard to
To
make
do both.
a story that you care about, especially since in most MMOs, the focus is on efficiency rather than a story.
But
Well,
saying
hang on.
that, World of Warcraft has the one of the most
I was
famous stories.
I was gonna say World of Warcraft was a big one. I remember like when we were younger, Maple Story had like a decent enough story back then that we were all like invested in it.
Did it? I don't remember anything from that.
Okay, you didn't play. I don't remember you playing it as much, but when I played it, and when I used to play with them, with like our other friends, we used to really be hung up on like how they were gonna beat the Black Mage and how we were gonna like find other people, like what classes were they gonna be, the other heroes that like joined them to fight the Black Mage, stuff like that. We used to be really invested in that. So it is possible, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It just you gotta really put time into it, and you gotta make it like it's open enough where you can like put other characters in the story if you need to for other classes and stuff, but not too massive where it's just like, man, we shot for the stars on this and we fell hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That being
I
said,
think it can be done. It's unfortunately it's just not going to happen.
yeah,
Instead, what EA is going to do is they're going to go. We can just print money if we make a Skyrim with lightsabers.
Hey,
Yeah,
that sounds really good.
I'm not saying it's not sounding good. It's just EA has also recently canceled a lot of really great games and
Mhm.
closed a lot of really great studios.
Consumed a lot of great studios.
Canceled, shut down, destroyed.
Cannibalized is what people would describe it.
If I swear to God, I will lose my shit if Arcane Studios gets bought out.
But they're Bethesda.
They're Bethesda. If Bethesda ever gets rid of Arcane Studios, I will riot in the streets.
look, man, I just want my extended universe back.
No, it's not
Me
happening.
too. Oh God.
See, that's another issue I have, like with well, trying to keep Star Wars: The Old Republic back. I mean, is that the isn't that like universe no longer canon, or they just like
It's no longer
scrapped out
canon.
a lot of it?
It's just yeah,
It's Disney's fault, actually. Disney was like, hey, all that stuff that millions of people enjoyed for so long, it's not on brand. It's not on brand.
and it's stupid because they recycle a lot of the ideas and use them for the new movies, and people that know about the extended universe are like catching on to that. Like, hey, come on.
Mm-hmm. I was triggered. I didn't like the idea of Starkiller Base because they took the really great idea of the Starforge and ruined it.
Yeah, I knew
Hey,
you were gonna be
hey,
upset
why don't
about
we just
that.
make a bigger Death Star?
It's not even that, but they took the idea of using the energy from a sun, which was integral to the storyline of KOTOR,
Right.
which is the Starforge that took star energy and turned it into armies, which is an amazing idea and concept, totally science fiction. And they're like, why don't we make it so it absorbs the sun and then fires a laser? That's such a good idea. Oh my
Not just
God.
one laser, 4 lasers.
Exactly. It's genius.
Right.
200 IQ.
If so, I know that EA is going to make this open world game. I just hope it actually releases. I hope that it plays to the community's wishes a lot more than everything else EA has done in the past like 5 years.
All right, I'd like to force grab Chris in here real quick. Just hear his
Exactly. I was
thoughts on
gonna be
how he
like,
feels
Chris,
about
where are you on this?
some open
Sorry.
world.
Well, first off, I'm just not a huge Star Wars like player, so I didn't really have much of a horse in the race. So I can't really state much. And also, I wasn't really into it because I was dueling a YouTuber on Legacy of the Duelist. I lost, but yeah.
All right. So then,
All right.
okay, as someone that was never into it, what could they do to pull you in?
I don't know. I think it's more or less the fact that I didn't start. Like I didn't start watching it, and it's just too much for me to start. It's just like the Monogatari series. It's just too much to take in at one time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about Star Wars related things. That's why I personally just don't have much of a I wouldn't say attachment, but yeah, attachment to the thing.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I was gonna ask you a better question. Do you think? Yeah, I have to trash you, James.
Yeah, throw
A
one of the
better
bus.
question
No,
Yeah, throw
please
one of the
do.
bus.
is on the idea of plot and story in an MMO. Do you think they are not aligned, or rather, they are opposing sides? You know, having an RPG and then having an MMO, which
I think yeah, it is a bit unaligned in how they're doing their things, but I mean it's I don't know. It was to talk about EA, right? It's EA. They're gonna do something to mess something up. It's just usually how they
You bet.
work.
DRM.
Good talk. Yeah. Okay, so the video, which you guys haven't seen, primarily they put out a job listing for a head creative developer who can manage teams in developing this new open world Star Wars game. But one of their requirements is they need someone adept at microtransactions. You need to know how to implement microtransactions into games.
Yeah.
Yep. So that leads into the next thing. EA claims that they didn't intend to create a slot machine system with Battlefront 2.
I don't buy that for a second.
That is the biggest lie.
Yeah, that's
of the
a
week.
huge lie. That's the second largest lie compared to anything that the president has said in the past month.
Ooh,
But-
topical.
EA, we stop trying to save face here. We know you want money. We get it. It's capitalism. We all want money. I'd like to live on a condo on Lakeshore Drive someday. But it doesn't mean I'm going to make a video game that's a slot machine just to do so. Play it nice. Don't lie to us. Say, okay, yeah, we did that. We thought you guys would like it and give us money, but we were wrong. So we're going to do it again. And just be honest with us. So we don't have to spend any and waste our time and money on a next game that you put out.
But they want your money. That's it. They can't
They
just
can't
go out.
have it.
Guys,
They
I would
can't
like to
handle the money.
apologize for being a caricature of a greedy business person.
Well, the issue isn't that they.
Did he just disappear?
I honestly thought I screwed up on my internet or something.
That was me. My finger slipped. I'm gonna push the talk.
Oh.
The issue isn't that they want our money. The issue is what they're trying to do to get our money. You know, like it has to be worth it. You got to make it seem like it's worth it. You know,
Yeah.
like, and I'm gonna bring Chris in for this again. So I'm gonna tag him in. Dokkan Battle, right? People spend so much money on Dokkan.
Don't even
Because
talk to me
it's-
about Dokkan.
Exactly. See?
My mic.
I'll admit, I made some bad purchases on Dokkan,
See?
and I have nothing to show for it sometimes.
But
But it's
it
just
would-
the fact that you get a chance at getting something good that'll reel you in. It's still something you shouldn't, fall for. But then you got the brand recognition of Dokkan, having Dragon Ball Z. So it's like, it hurts sometimes, because like, oh, hey, I could get this new Vegeta or something. You end up with like Krillin or Zarbon.
Ugh.
Who is Zarbon?
he was the blue dude on Namek that turned
What?
ugly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right.
But you see, like, it's tantalizing. He gave them their money, even though he knew he shouldn't. But like, it was tantalizing. It looked worth it because it was a chance
Mhm.
for something that was actually worth it.
Yeah, but doesn't that affect gameplay?
Yes,
I say
in
yes.
Dokkan, in Dokkan, the cards that you get highly affect gameplay because, like, it's basically a team builder. In all honesty,
Okay.
and there are certain leaders that you need. Like, for example, I'll just say there are 5 typings. Strength, agility, tech. I'm not going to say the rest because I don't remember them. But for example, if you wanted to do evil tech, you need to get Super Saiyan 3 Broly. If you want him, I don't know if they changed it, but last I checked, there's like a 5% chance to actually get him.
Yeah, and that's the downside to something like this, to these, especially like gacha type systems. Like if they introduce something broken, you have to get it if you want to be able to keep up with the game. So you have to introduce something that looks good and seems worth it, but like it isn't breaking what you've created.
Yeah, but then why would you care that much about it?
Because
then you
if
care
you're
about your
free to
fans.
play, you're not going to last that long in the long run. Like,
No. So sorry.
you're not going to
Sorry.
make it.
I was gonna say, how that make anything different from what EA's doing with Star Wars Battlefront initially, but rather since it's a free to play game, it doesn't really like any of those actions are acceptable in my opinion for a free to play game. But like trying to implement that exact same idea, which I think is what James is pushing for EA, how would you make that work? It can't.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to like think about like how you could do it. It's you have to be able to like give people that don't want to spend money a fair chance at something that everyone else that does spend money can get. But you still have to be able to provide something that's worth, spending money on or not. I'm trying to like think about this. It's so tricky and it's so hard to like go about,
That's true. That's like part of the problem with Battlefront 2 was that the ability to get like the heroes when an initial release amount of time you had to spend to get the currency to be able to get, say, Darth Vader was insanely high. You had to play like 40 hours just to get one hero unlocked.
Yeah.
It's like that's a barrier of entry with a lot of these. It's like if you make a game where you can spend money to get this thing or a chance to get this thing, or it only takes you like an hour to get a chance at that thing, that's pretty comparable. It's like people who don't have the time to spend 2 or 3 hours a night playing a game and they just want to have the stuff that they want so they can play it for like an hour or a week. Yeah, all right, fine. I get it. But if there are people who like spending hundreds of dollars to get a thing that would take half a year to do, okay, well, I get it. It's you kind of have to. It's like I don't remember what the name of the game was, the original game. But it was I think a game that like Peter Molyneux made, Dungeon Keeper. I think it was Dungeon Keeper. They made a mobile game version of it. You basically have to like mine out blocks.
I remember EA
build
did
space.
That. Yeah.
Yes. It took 24 hours
to
mine one block.
Unless
Imagine
you paid money.
Unless you paid money. Yeah, it was like $2 or something. That's insane. There's so much. The barrier of entry there is insane.
It's tricky, man. Business is tricky.
No, see, the issue with I think a major issue, especially with EA, in regards to all this, is that they're trying to implement mobile free-to-play game tactics into their like a headline blockbuster, essentially, blockbuster AAA $60 games. When if they just turn, even I was going to ask you this, would you think would you find it acceptable if they release Star Wars Battlefront 2 as a free-to-play game?
It'd probably be better. I probably wouldn't be as angry if I hadn't spent $80. Because yes, I bought the premium version because I was like, I want those skins, and then they haven't released any skins yet for any other characters. Like, but yeah, if it was a free-to-play game, it'd be a lot different. It's like Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm gonna bring this back to this game because I love playing it, and we're gonna play it again tonight.
Yep.
It's technically a free-to-play game. You can play up to like level 20 or whatever without any restrictions. Then they start adding on these restrictions. But you don't have to spend money to enjoy that game. But if you want to do it faster, or you want to have cool like outfits and stuff, you have the option of spending money. Now, actually, with the next update they're going to do, 6.0, the rumor is that all items that you normally have to spend money to get a chance for are going to be fully direct purchase. You spend money and you get it. Right now, they've got it kind of like that. They released a lot of items for direct purchase. Rumors it's going to be that way permanently. Changes the game entirely. It's now like, if you want this, you can get it. You don't have to, like, it's no longer gambling. You can just get it. But, again, the game is free, if you so choose.
I just want to throw out there that we are not sponsored by anybody, but we are totally okay with taking a sponsor or two. Just saying.
Yeah. Squarespace, hit us up.
$1 save.
I know you got my number, Nintendo. Let's go.
Hey, we all have facial hair.
Yo, Square Enix, you know I've been pushing out games for years. Hook me up, dog.
Okay, make your own channel. I am not getting sponsored by Square Enix, man.
Bro, I'll take it then. I'll be the Square Enix guy. I got you. Don't even trip.
Hey, when are you gonna start streaming Kingdom Hearts speedruns?
So Actually, I've been thinking about getting back into streaming in general. So you might be expecting those soon.
Hey, can I be your mod?
Sure.
Speaking of streaming, which this is a digression for anyone wondering. DSP, the scourge of Twitch, got suspended. I forget how he broke some guideline, and like the jackass that he is, accidentally announced that Twitch partners get special suspensions rights that normal streamers don't get.
Partners get different.
Yes, they're treated differently if you're a partner. So like if you break it, like so the normal offense is you have a 3-strike rule, with each one being more severe, with the third one banning your channel.
Right.
Those kind of rules don't entirely affect partners. Like he broke an offense, he was supposed to get like a week off, and then it got cut down to 2 days.
So what you're telling me is being a partner on stream is like being a white person in real life.
Oh, there it is.
I'm
So
not
I'll
trying
never
to break
get
the
a
system
partner
here.
is what you're saying.
No, that's what I'm saying is we're treated differently by the policing organizations
You know,
based on the color of our skin.
He's
Yeah,
right.
sounds about right.
He's right.
It's the same thing now with Twitch partners, but essentially Twitch partnership is an all-access pass to being treated better.
Yes.
It's basically like taking a bucket of white paint and just...
that
being
white
said,
snow.
That being said, Twitch, we are all totally okay getting partnered. Just saying.
Yeah, again, yeah.
See, I'm part of Etica's crew. No snitch niggas.
Oh, no Twitch
niggas.
No Twitch. All right.
No
all right. Well,
Twitch niggas.
I'm down. I'm down with Twitch. I don't care.
All right, but seriously. So you heard about the guidelines to happen on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
So Chris, they released new guidelines saying they're going to crack down on all this bad stuff. And after the Jake Paul, I'm going to tase a rat incident, they released these new guidelines, which essentially would crack down on people like XQC, crack down on titty streamers, such and such. And
IRL.
can you guess what happened?
A new Reddit popped up. A new subreddit popped up.
Absolutely nothing. It did not change a single thing that happened on Twitch. All the like streamers who have like push up brawls and keep it in the camera. I was watching a video in which a guy was explaining this. There was one streamer who for any of her subscribers, she sends them booty pics. Like you get access to booty pics.
Hold up, who are we talking about?
Can you give us a jail name? Could you give us a jail name?
All right,
I'll find it later. I have to pull the video back up. And
Yo,
it's
wild.
even
That's
so
fine,
like, but she would like cover her nipples so she doesn't get in trouble and such.
Right.
But like one of the pictures, because there's a Reddit for it, is like if
I
you
told
turn,
you.
huh?
It's always a subreddit.
Yes,
Always
there's
a
a subreddit that they have pictures because there's a dedicated channel for her.
Right.
If you turn the brightness up, you can actually see her anus. I mean, not anus, her butthole. Like it's those kind of pics. And so there was a recent video of her, a stream rather, where the entire stream is just her cooking some soup, but she's having like booty shorts, like really tight booty shorts, and that's it.
What kind of soup was it though?
I don't know. The guy didn't spend much time showing the video. He was making a
Look,
point.
I'm more concerned about the food more than anything.
You got a point. I don't. The thing I want to be careful we discuss about this is that I don't necessarily have a problem with that type of streaming, and I think I just don't know. It's tough to say if Twitch is the right location for it, but what it comes
Just
down
go on
to,
Pornhub, fam.
yeah, you could say you go on Pornhub, but like that has a negative connotation to it. So it's like these
Does
are people who are trying to make a career. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Come on, it absolutely does.
All right.
But it's the Brigitte. That's all I have to say. Look,
Right,
I
you
think-
can't beat Brigitte.
you can't. What we need to like talk about is that it's similar to what happened to that very, very smart Girl Scout who decided to sell Girl Scout cookies outside of a weed dispensary. Having titty streamers on Twitch is playing to the audience.
Yes.
Do we have to necessarily punish that? Or
No.
have a different part of Twitch? Say there's Twitch After Dark. Like, that's like, well, exclusively titty streamers.
Listen.
So what you're saying is have adults Twitch,
Yes.
Yeah.
kind of like Adult Swim. All right, I'm fine.
Like I'm fine with something like that.
My only issue, because I don't hate the player, because they're doing what they need to.
Yeah, it's a hustle. It's still hustling at the end of the day. Everyone's still working.
Twitch themselves don't want to support this. They've made every indication that they want to make this socially acceptable, considering everything that's happening to YouTube, their rival.
Right.
They don't want another Jake Paul or whatever incident.
Tell
But if they're not cracking down on their own stuff, they shouldn't
Then
have
what's
the
the point?
guidelines in the first place.
Right. Tell them to go to Mixer.
Yeah. Forgot about
All
Mixer.
right, I'm gonna make a motion to move away from this just in case,
In case what?
Yeah, no.
someone says the wrong thing and then we end up getting bodied.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good point. We should definitely step away from it. But I think if the company itself doesn't support the action, then they should actually discuss that they don't support the action and move to not just like support that activity. It's them saying new guidelines and then nothing changes. They have nothing to complain about.
Yeah. Or they should just remove their guidelines and keep Twitch where it's at.
Right.
I agree.
All right. So that was digression. Back to EA. Let's get back to the news.
We have so many topics. We're not going to get through all of them tonight. Oh, my God.
Don't worry. I've already kind of broken them down a bit. So last thing, which I know all of you have not.
Wow.
So Yong Yi, so the head of EA, who retired, he left, did a couple of podcasts talking about his experience in EA, working at EA. He's the head of BioWare, sorry. And essentially what it came down to is EA did nothing wrong. Everything that happened, they're a perfectly fine company. They didn't force any of that stuff to happen. They're great to us. It's so great working with all the other developers and everything in EA. That's really what it comes down to.
It sounds like he has a gun to his head.
I was about to say that, yeah, like he's still like Jedi mind tricked or something.
Well, it's very possible that to shit talk EA will kill his career.
That is also
Yeah, it absolutely would, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a little bit of a get out situation here.
Mm-hmm.
The family treats us just so lovely.
Exactly.
You right?
See, the thing that bothers me is, let's say, so if we were to keep BioWare, the company, if we were to take his word face value, everything that happened to BioWare is exactly their faults.
I agree, 100%. You should have said something.
No, more than that. No, things like using the Frostbite engine, which, if you don't know, that's for DICE, the shooting company. You know, the one that makes Battlefront. I mean, not Battlefront, Battlefield. And Battlefront. That engine is made for shooters, and they applied that engine to an RPG. It doesn't. It's like
What RPG do they apply it to?
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh,
The one,
Not
yeah.
That explains a lot.
yeah.
Using AI to, I mean, like not AI. Auto-generated models. I mean, animations for all the characters instead of just animating their faces themselves. Which, if you remember, everyone memed on them. That's their fault. The poor story and writing and the gameplay decisions of Dragon Age Inquisition, which I know you guys haven't played. That game is mediocre. That's a 5 in my opinion.
I forgot that came out.
That's their fault. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all these things, like all these bad things happening, it's their fault now.
I don't entirely think it's their fault, though. I think especially with the Frostbite engine, that's I don't think their choice. I think that was like EA's like, look, we have this to save money. Let's just use the same engine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. But he's saying they chose that. He went out of his way to pick that engine.
You need to rethink your life, dude.
That sounds fake, man. Like, I feel like he was like given it by them or something like that. Or he was like told to or something, or like not straight up told, but quote unquote told to use it. You know what I mean?
Right. But
But
you can't say that.
yeah, you can't say that, and I feel like you can't decline it necessarily either, because you can't burn that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to do this. He needs to write in his will a little note that said, "EA did it."
Yeah, just leave it at that. Well amended.
However, the one interesting thing he said is a lot of people like to think EA is like just like this evil corporation, just like you know, like
Right.
an '80s, '90s like cartoon show.
Die Hard.
Yeah, but like there are people there, and they're making their own decisions, and they're you can't just treat them like that.
And okay, well, I'm gonna both say a thing and then devil's advocate myself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we should always remember in our communities to treat other people like they're actually people, and remember that there are faces behind every corporation. However, if EA wanted us to treat them nicely, they'd make good games and not treat
I
us
agree.
like garbage.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't throw in a lottery slot machine into a Star Wars game if they wanted the community to like them.
Honestly, that was the biggest L, self-serving L they've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your devil's advocate part, or are you still?
The devil's advocate part.
That was double
I mean-
F, yeah.
I mean, it's not total devil's advocate. It's like I just want to take both sides of it a little bit. It's like, yes, we should absolutely treat people like human beings, but also like if they wanted us to treat them nicely, they would treat us nicely. And
You are a trash person for putting out this trash game.
And Ethan, that's what Yonggi said about it. Has the exact same opinion on that issue, and I agree.
like-
We should humanize them, but we also got to remember, then they should consider every time they make a game, it's not like a cash cow buying the game. It's people like us who have like $60 with 10 different games we want to buy.
Mm-hmm. And only enough money for one.
Exactly.
Or a
that's-
subscription.
Yeah, or a subscription. So that's EA. So now let's move. James, I wish I had like the sad music thing I could put out,
I
because
feel
we're getting to the sad news part. We're going into the L section.
the L.
So, guys, you heard about No Man's Sky? Wait, sorry, I meant Sea of Thieves.
Wait, what segue is this?
Nothing. That was it. What I said. Time for the L section. That was the transition. We're gonna talk about the L's of these L's.
It's like you just said, "Hey, you guys remember World War II? Hey, do you guys? I'm sorry. I mean, do you remember World War One? I'm sorry. Do you remember the Civil War?" It's like that's what you said right now.
That was me trashing on Sea of Thieves.
Haven't played it. No interest.
I watched it. It's not bad.
Chris, have you seen Sea of Thieves?
I've only seen 10 commercials every time I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, but
Oh.
it's supposed to be the YouTuber game. You remember the E3 trailer where it's like a bunch of these paid actors to pretend
years
like
ago.
they're all like, hi guys, we're streamers. This is so much fun we're having, driving our ship through the seas.
Hey guys, we're doing a new video today that we've never done before.
Hey guys,
We're gonna be playing this game that hasn't come out and won't come out for 3 years.
Oh yeah, I
Sea
forget.
of
It took
Thieves.
3
Oh
years.
man. Oh, if we're talking about L's, since we're talking about L's, rest in peace, Scalebound.
Ooh.
What is
Oh.
that?
Oh, please don't remind me. That made me sad.
The deep pain.
If we're talking about L's, let's talk about how Xbox has no exclusives.
Hey,
Alright,
hey.
Stay on, dog. You gotta keep it 100. Come on, dog.
Phil Spencer was like, "Hey guys, we don't need to make any money. It's fine."
It's fine. God, they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that one.
Hey, but people aren't angry at him like for having stupid exclusives. They're just like, we don't have any stupid exclusives because we have no exclusives.
We have like
Perfect.
Cuphead, Sea of Thieves, and then 2 disappointing sequels.
Dog, like they really like. Doesn't Microsoft have Rare?
Yes, that's who made Sea of Thieves.
Why aren't they using that more? Crash
They
Bandicoot
just
should have
made
been a
Hold
Microsoft
on,
exclusive.
hold on. James, do you remember the Kinect?
I try to forget it.
Do you remember who mainly developed all the games for the Kinect?
Was that Rare?
Yes.
Oh
No.
They
no!
bought out
no.
Rare during the Xbox days from Nintendo and made them develop all these Kinect games.
That's the biggest misuse. Like when Crash Trilogy came out, that should have been a Microsoft exclusive, and they should have made bank off of that.
Oh no, baby!
Rare
what
was
is
it
he
made by
doing?
Crash, James?
Oh no, yeah, I forgot
I mean,
about
Crash was
Minecraft.
made
They
by
also have
Rare.
Minecraft. Thanks for reminding me, Chris.
Because like all these games, like okay, I understand accessibility, I understand like crossplay and stuff, the way of the future, stuff like that. But if you're trying to make money and you have these titles, you gotta be a little like you gotta keep some stuff to yourself, man. Because no one I know bought Crash on Xbox. They all bought it on like PlayStation.
It's not on Xbox.
It's not even.
It's not even on the Xbox.
It's not on Xbox. It's only coming to Switch. That's it.
And it's coming to Switch. They just threw free money away. Like, what are you doing, dog?
Don't forget the part where any game on the Xbox can be played on PC.
That too. Like, what do I
They
do?
just cut themselves with that one. Hey, you want to buy an Xbox 360 or Xbox One? Nah, fam. I got a PC.
I already got
Hey.
a
Get out my
laptop.
face.
Phil Spencer here. Just want to let you know that we decided that money is useless to us. We're gonna start fresh. We're making X-Bitcoin the future of
X Bitcoin. Alright, dog.
We're gonna make the Xbox One the most powerful system console out
that
there.
no one will use.
Exactly. See,
Hey, it's good as a receiver for like a DVR or something.
It's good
That's my Blu-ray
paperweight.
player. Hey,
Yes,
Like
it's a
Blu-ray
Blu-ray
player.
player.
and in your defense, Ethan's as the honorary Xbox owner over here. Playback, their playback system is really good. Being able to play older Xbox games, that's
I
something.
can play KOTOR off my original Xbox disc.
Exactly.
Now, I will give them that. Sony is screwing themselves up with not doing that.
Also,
But
the
I will give it to
subscription
Microsoft.
service where you get all those games available.
Game Pass. Yes. I consider getting it, but I don't play enough games on my Xbox to warrant it. Maybe over the summer I'll try it, and I'll let you know how it is, because I can get a trial for like a month.
Right.
Please do. Please do.
Those two are
So,
good.
That's a W. Those are some W's we will
Yep.
give them.
But let's go back to the L's here. So, Sea of
Sea of
Thieves
Thieves.
is it was the biggest game like 2 weeks ago. Back when I found this article. And
What about Fortnite?
on Xbox only. I'm talking about Xbox only here.
Sea of Thieves, Xbox only.
You know, if we're going to talk about Fortnite, when are we getting the free save the world part? That was supposed to be in the game.
It's the old bait and switch, my friend. There was never a save the world part. Only PUBG.
Only Battle Royale.
Oh, PUBG is exclusive to Xbox, isn't it?
I believe so.
I
That
think
and
so.
PC.
Yeah.
PG?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Oh
PC,
yeah, and
uh,
mobile, and mobile.
PC,
And mobile.
mobile, and Xbox.
And
no
PUBG, I've heard it runs so well, you get 10 frames per second on average.
10 frames? That's impressive.
Ooh,
It's
a
like
whole
watching
beautiful-
moving pictures.
It's almost like watching a movie.
Yeah, almost. About 14 frames off. And that's on the Xbox One X, by the way, might I add.
Oof.
Oh boy, I felt that one.
But yeah, Sea of Thieves. The only people I've seen play it are YouTube channels that are being sponsored
Yeah.
or Twitch streams that are being sponsored.
Yep.
You know, all the streams I've watched that play them aren't sponsored. It's just a group of friends, but they play games together all the time. So I feel like it's more so their interaction that I'm enjoying, more so than the game itself.
Right.
But the game
Funhouse has been playing it. Funhouse has been playing it on their channel, but I haven't watched it because I really don't care.
The game is bad. I mean, sorry. Different wording.
Stop trying to make it. Trying to make a title for this video, okay? Stop trying to make a title for the video.
No, I already have a different title.
the game is like
So the game is No Man's Sky.
It's not that bad.
See, my issue with Sea of Thieves and No Man's Sky, especially Sea of Thieves, since you think Rare would have learned their lesson. You think with 3 years of development, you think they will have learned their lesson by now. There's not anything. So the game is very repetitive. If you haven't seen it, essentially how it works is there's 3 different mission people you go to, and so the 3 missions you get is you get the treasure and bring it back to them. You find a random animal, you bring it back to them. You kill some skeletons. The end. And then you just do. That's it. That's the game. It's a very It's very little to do in the game, and it's kind of dependent on you making your own fun. And I feel like Sea of Thieves and No Man's Sky messes up on what Minecraft did. Where like Minecraft also is primarily a make your own fun kind of game.
But it's one of the best make your own fun games.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yep. Also, they didn't charge you $60 for it.
Yeah, no. I think I paid like $20 for it.
They had an alpha. They had time. They gave you early access and let you know what it's like now, and then eventually we get to the Minecraft of today, where it's well polished and developed.
Mm-hmm.
But these other 2 games don't do that. Instead, they just try to sell us on an early access game for $60.
You're right.
That's not even what I want to talk about. So, someone reaches, which is, if you know the ending of No Man's Sky, it's the equivalent. Someone reached legendary pirate status in Sea of Thieves, the very first person. Do you know what happened when you reach legendary pirate status?
Do you start over again?
Sense all the way back.
Basically,
right.
It doesn't restart. You get to because the only progression in No Man's Sky is different costumes, no stats or anything. It's just different costumes and aesthetics. So when you get legendary pirate status, you go into the underworld and meet these legendary pirates, and then you do more missions for them, which are the same as the other missions you already done.
Right.
To unlock more cosmetics.
You know what this is making me think of?
What?
The Division.
All right.
The game The Division.
Yeah.
And the reason is
I'm trying to remember what that was.
Ubisoft.
Third-person shooter. The sequel coming for some reason. But the thing that game had that besides the gameplay that was so drab, was the fact that there are so many different progression systems involved in the game. It's like you had your character level. You had the level of your base and the different sections of your base and the levels that they have individually. Then you have getting armor and clothes, which is different than your weapon systems, which have a progression of their own where you can get modifications. But as soon as you fully modded a weapon that you actually liked, you can get a new gun that can be re-modified. And then there was just like a crafting system, and then there was this system. And I was like, that game had so many systems in it that it was overcomplicated. Games like Sea of Thieves are like, we're going to get rid of all of those and have just one progression system. It's like, you need more than one, but you need less than 20.
See, I think there's a difference in that Division is an MMO. Like, it functions more on that level, so it can get away with that.
I guess. It was grindy as hell.
Yeah, definitely.
But isn't Sea of Thieves grindy too? It's like to progress to get new of the same, you have to do the same.
Yeah, but like at least in no, I mean it doesn't. You don't need to.
Oh yeah, you can just sail away with your friends.
Yeah, and just kill other people and fight a kraken that doesn't really exist. Have you seen what happened when a kraken appears? It's only
Yeah.
a bunch of arms. That's it. You go
You
underwater.
don't see the Kraken. You just see the arm.
The arms doesn't exist. Like the where it's connected to just doesn't exist. It's just it's just a blank, like severed arm in the water.
That's a good movie title.
Severed arm.
Genius by design, man. Genius by
Yes.
design. You need to have a high IQ to understand how they're doing it.
R.A. Rick and Morty fan.
Oh, oh,
So
shots.
next thing on games that disappoint, No Man's Sky is getting more content. For
I
any-
respect that they're trying.
For anyone who owned the game, it's a free expansion.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, might as well make
It
it.
better be free.
Yeah, but like James said, I'm glad that they're trying. This is something I appreciate.
Hey, then trying to make a new game that'll piss people off. They're going back to the old game and trying to make it better,
Like EA
Heyo.
should.
like EA should do.
Speaking of games that disappoint, Final Fantasy 15 is getting more stuff.
Oh, come on. It wasn't that
All
bad.
right.
I mean, it wasn't.
I'm not okay.
Ethan, I haven't played it.
All right, so then
Me
I guess
neither.
me and Chris are the only ones here.
The two weebs.
Excuse you.
I take offense to that.
I'm not a
Banned.
weeb. I have a life.
I'm offended.
But all right, I'll agree. It wasn't terrible. It was lackluster at best. It was okay.
I will
Just
agree
once
to that.
like once the hype died down, you really saw like a lot of the flaws. So I am glad that they're like going back and trying to like add more to the world and make it better.
And fix their mistakes.
Yeah, because like, they released like a Royal Edition not too long ago, and they like add a lot to story. They put all the DLC in there and stuff. So like they are like fixing these mistakes. It's good.
They are trying.
Yep. So we can all just say, good job, No Man's Sky. Good job, Hello Games, for continuing to support your game. See, No Man's Sky should have just done Minecraft. It should have just done the Minecraft treatment. Doesn't Xbox have a early access system?
What do you mean?
Like games are put on early access?
I don't think so. If they do, I don't use it because why would I do that? I know EA has their own system that you can pay for to get games 3 days early.
Yeah.
I think Ubisoft also has that.
Yeah, they do.
But why would I do that?
So, the final game that's taking this L here.
Dun,
Does,
dun, 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 dun.
does anyone remember Lawbreakers?
Whoa! Oh my God!
The
I haven't thought
dro-
about that game in a while.
It's been
The
such a
throwback.
long
Is that the one where they're in the prison trying to escape?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I only know that because Chris brought it up a couple days ago, I think.
No, that's not what it is at all. That's a different game.
No, it's the one.
Oh,
where
that's
isn't it
a way out.
That's
Wasn't it a team
That's
shooter?
something that's worth some time.
a way out.
Oh wow, so I'm completely off. Okay, what is Lawbreaker?
Wasn't it a team shooter?
It's Overwatch, but darker. And not
Yeah.
I don't mean in tone. I mean like in appearance.
Ethan, what were you going to describe it as?
I thought it was like a team shooter, like Team Fortress or Overwatch.
Right. Okay.
I didn't watch it. I just knew that it existed. I was like, okay, cool.
James, are you familiar with Unreal Engine? Not Unreal Engine. Unreal Tournament
Yes, I am.
or Quake?
Yes, I know of Quake.
All right. So imagine you took that game and then you added Overwatch to it. Overwatch
Oh, boy.
class team mechanics to it.
Oh boy,
Right.
that sounds not that fun.
Except
oof.
that you take out the balance that Overwatch has.
You take out the balance,
Pseudo balance.
make it ultimately skill based, where like the most damaging. Imagine like, okay, so imagine Tracer,
Mhm.
but she also had McCree's gun.
This sounds even worse. I do not want this at all.
Oh, yeah,
10 out of 10,
no,
do not
sorry,
want.
sorry, wrong. Yeah, that's one of them. Okay, so but also, so imagine Tracer, and then you combine Genji Swift Strike, and then also you added a knife to her gun that it was like playing COD with Commando.
Oh,
Add those three things together,
Who let this happen?
and you get like two of the strongest characters in the game.
Who let this happen? Who said this was okay? Who greenlit this?
They
Probably
did
Steam.
because the guy who formerly worked for Epic, I believe, wanted to make an ultimately skill based shooter where like there's no gravity and it's primarily movement based. It's a very PC shooter that they tried to also put on console.
Yeah, but you can't have all that and have a busted character like this.
Two busted characters.
Like
You can barely deal with Tracer.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Right?
Playing the support character was painful because they have way less mobility in that game.
So like playing Zen.
Yeah.
this is terrible. This is
It's
awful.
actually it's very much like Zen because Zen's Harmony Orb is the same ability.
Oh wow, okay.
And you have a
Again,
grenade
he still has
launcher.
no mobility.
Okay, so imagine this guy with a grenade launcher when everyone else is Genji flying
so
around the map with Switch Strike
That's so why?
with
Who
a
let this
quadruple
happen?
jump. Huh?
Who let this game happen?
He did.
Why?
That's why
I
no one
can't-
bought it because it's so unbalanced that one good character, like one good player, could totally ruin the experience. And it's such a high skill floor that for you to even be remotely okay at it to then start enjoying it requires too much time on your hand.
Right.
Fam, the fact that the skill floor, not even the ceiling, the floor is too
Yeah.
high is saying something about your game. And you need to like reinvent this entire thing.
No, it's so Lawbreakers is no longer being supported.
Yeah.
So
I
if I
officially-
recall, it sold like 1,000 copies or something. It sold like a really lower than Battleborn. It sold less than Battleborn. And they were like, "That's fine. We'll just support our community, and eventually we might do a Rainbow Six Siege and grow." But that didn't work.
Like
Let's just pour
Paragon.
one out for him.
Yeah,
It's more like Paragon.
no, Paragon worked for a while. Lawbreakers didn't even hit like it hit at the ground, breaking both of their kneecaps.
They were
As a
born
big
from the
rip.
womb and then they
As a
hit the
ripperoni.
ground.
Exactly. Like the baby, like as the doctor was pulling the baby out of the womb, he's like snapped both legs, just ended it
No,
right
no.
there.
It's more like there was no doctor and the woman was in an elevator in the Sears Tower standing up.
just shotgun
gave-
baby out.
Yeah, she shotgunned the baby out and a trap door at the bottom of the elevator opened up and the baby went all the way to the bottom.
Beautiful image. Beautiful.
Lawbreakers.
Support our game. That being said, we are not sponsored by Lawbreakers. Please don't try to sponsor us. You ain't got the money to buy us.
I wrote a review for it. I trashed that game.
The Lawbreakers can't even afford us.
Hey, he's moving
All the
on
money
to,
went into the surgery to get the knees fixed after that fall.
he's moving on to greener pastures.
Like the fields that was the Windows XP background that's now like just barren and dead.
Oh my god.
Dun 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 dun.